हरि ओम। ओम श्री गणेशाय नमः। ओम श्री हिरण्यगर्भाय नमः। ओम श्री महाविष्णवे नमः। ओम श्री महादुर्गाय नमः। ओम श्री राम रामाय नमः। ओम श्री सद्गुरवे नमः। ओम समस्त जन कल्याणे निरतं करुणामयम् नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम् शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानामालयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। शङ्करं परमानन्दं ब्रह्मनिष्ठं यतीश्वरम् भाष्यभ्रान्तिहरं वन्दे शुद्धज्ञानैकबोधकम्। ॐ नमः शिवाय 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 ॐ नमः शिवाय। नमः पार्वतीपतये हर हर महादेव। हरि ओम हरि ओम। We'll begin with the Shanti mantra. ॐ भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैः स्तुष्टुवागंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्ताक्षो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरि ओम हरि ओम। So we are studying this Mandukya Upanishad along with Karika of Gaudapadacharya ji and with Adi Shankaracharya ji's Bhashya. Before commencing his Bhashya, Adi Shankaracharya ji writes two Mangal Shlokas. In these two Mangal Shlokas, he gives the gist of the teachings of not only this Upanishad, but of all the Upanishads. We shall chant these two Mangal Shlokas and briefly see the meaning before we go ahead. प्रज्ञानांशु प्रतानैः स्थिरचर निकर व्यापिभिर्व्याप्य लोकान् भुक्त्वा भोगांस्तविष्ठान् पुनरपि धिषणोद्भासितान् कामजन्यान् पीत्वा सर्वान् विशेषान् स्वपिति मधुरभुं मायया भोजयन्नः माया संख्यातुरीयं परममृतमजम् ब्रह्म यत्तन्नतोऽस्मि यो विश्वात्मा विदिज विषयान् प्राश्य भोगांस्तविष्ठान् पश्चाच्चान्यान् स्वमतिविभवान् ज्योतिषा स्वेन सूक्ष्मान् सर्वानेतान् पुनरपि शनैः स्वात्मनि स्थापयित्वा हित्वा सर्वान् विशेषान् विगतगुणगणः पात्वसौ नस्तुरीयः. So in the first shloka, Shankaracharya ji does namaskar to Brahma. So who is Brahma? Everything is Brahma. That's what we have to remember. That all this which we see and experience is Brahma, and all the experiencers are Brahma. So the entire cosmos which we experience in the waking state is Brahma. The world which we experience in our dream is Brahma. In deep sleep, we remain one with Brahma without the experience of any world or even our own self. So everything is Brahma. The gross physical world, the subtle world, as well as the causal world. And all the beings, all the jivas are Brahma. All actions which are happening are done by Brahma. All knowledge is gained by Brahma. All experiences are happening in Brahma by Brahma. So as all these jivas, Brahma alone performs all actions. Brahma alone gains knowledge, and Brahma alone experiences the various joys. So that is Brahma. So in all the Upanishads, first the Upanishad reveals the identity of Brahma. It points out this world, and through the world that Brahma is pointed out as the cause of the world, as both the material as well as the efficient cause of the world. And this Brahma has to be recognized. Brahma vidya we have to gain. The second mantra, the second shloka is very important. After understanding that everything is Brahma, we have to gain the knowledge and direct experience of Brahma. Brahma was not only indicated as expressing in the Jagrat Swapna Sushupti, but the supreme nature of Brahma is indicated as Turiya. From the standpoint of Maya, there are these three states of experience, and with respect to these three, Brahma, who transcends them all, is indicated as Turiya. So, Maya Sankhya Turiyam Parama Amrutam, who is Param, who is Amrutam, who is Ajam, unborn, immortal, supreme. To that Brahma, my namaskar. So, how can we recognize and realize that Brahma? Since Brahma is everything and everyone, I am also Brahma. I can recognize Brahma as my own self. The most interesting and important thing is that each one of us, we have the immediate experience of our own self. We have the experience of our own existence without the need for any praman, without the need for any means of knowledge. We have this direct experience of our own existence. Everyone knows and says that I exist, I am. Even the birds, animals, plants, they also recognize their own existence as per the Shastras. But the problem is that though I know I exist, I don't know exactly who am I. What is my nature is not known. I do not know that I am that Supreme Brahma. This is called avidya. Because of this avidya, I have misunderstandings about myself. And what are the misunderstandings? Seeing the activity happening in this body, seeing the activity happening in the mind, intellect, antakarana, I assume myself to be the doer of action. Then again, seeing the knowledge happening through the senses, in the mind, in the intellect, I assume that I am the knower of this knowledge. And seeing the experiences happening through the mind, intellect, I assume that I am the enjoyer of all these experiences. So I falsely assume that I am the doer, knower, and enjoyer, which is wrong, which we have seen in the first verse, that the doer is Brahma, knower is Brahma, enjoyer is also Brahma. The jivas falsely assume that they are the doer, knower, enjoyers. So, in order to recognize myself as I am, I have to follow the path shown by the Shastras. The Shastras give 4 steps in this Mandukya Upanishad. The Upanishad has given 4 steps to recognize my own true self. The first step is to know that I am not this individual, but I am the Vishvatma, the Vaishvanara. Vaishvanara alone acts through each and every being in the waking state. So, yo Vishvatma vidija vishayan prasya bhogan stavishtham. The Vaishvanara, Vishvatma, he alone enjoys the gross physical objects, reaching each and every jiva according to their own karma. The result reaches this particular body, mind, intellect according to the karma performed through this mind, intellect. But the one who is present in this body and in every body is Vaishvanara. But where does this Vaishvanara exist? And who is Vaishvanara? All this physical entire world is Vaishvanara. Brahma alone is called Vaishvanara in the physical, gross, waking world. So the first step is to recognize Vaishvanara. But who is Vaishvanara? Where does he exist? Vaishvanara exists in the mind of Hiranyagarbha. Vaishvanara is born from Hiranyagarbha. Hiranyagarbha doesn't have a physical body. He has a total mind, total intellect, total samskars. So through his mind only Vaishvanara is born. So from the standpoint of Hiranyagarbha, the entire world, physical world, is only in his mind, in Vaishvanara's mind. In Hiranyagarbha's mind. So when we are when we are dreaming, we identify with Hiranyagarbha. The dream world is functioning in the field of the mind. Our mind, your mind, everyone's mind is part of Hiranyagarbha's mind. So when we are dreaming, Hiranyagarbha as though has swallowed Vaishvanara. In our dream, we don't experience the waking world. Hiranyagarbha has swallowed Vaishvanara. I remain there as Hiranyagarbha. So paschan anyan swamati vibhavan jyotisha svena sukshma. In the dream, I enjoy the sukshma objects, the objects created by the mind. The objects of our dream are not physical, they are not solid physical objects, they are just projected by the mind. So, as per our samskars in the mind, the world in the dream gets projected. And this happens in all the jivas in their dream. So, all the total dream or the total mind intellect of all the beings are controlled by Hiranyagarbha. Hiranyagarbha functions through the mind intellect of everyone because everyone's mind intellect is his mind and intellect. So the second step is to recognize Hiranyagarbha. But where does Hiranyagarbha come from? Where does Hiranyagarbha exist? Hiranyagarbha exists in Ishvara. Hiranyagarbha exists in the very cause. It is Ishvara. Hiranyagarbha along with Vishwanara merges into Ishvara in deep sleep. When we are in deep sleep, we are one with Ishvara, whom we are looking for everywhere when we are awake. We go to all the Tirtha Kshetras to look for Ishvara. We go to all the temples to look for Ishvara. We do japa, tapa, kirtan to meet Ishvara. But where is Ishvara? We find him every time we go to deep sleep. We are one with Ishvara. He is present even when we are awake. Hiranyagarbha is present even when we are awake. Vaishvanara is present when we are awake. But we are fully one with Ishvara without the distraction of the physical world and the subtle world in deep sleep. So sarvan etan punarapi shanaihi swatmani stapayitva. So in deep sleep, in my own self as Ishvara, I dissolve the waking as well as the dream world into myself. So this is not something strange, this is our experience. The Upanishads are not telling something which is totally out of our understanding. It is our day-to-day experience. So sarvan etan punarapi shanaihi swatapayitva. Everything we merge into ourself in deep sleep. But we again come back into dream and waking. But we have to recognize Turiya. And who is Turiya? Hitva sarvan vishesha, in whom there are no divisions of any kind. There are no limitations. There are no vishesh. There is no vishesh jnana. There is no vishesh karma happening, there is no Vishesh Anubhav. So Hitva Sarvan Vishesham, giving up all Vishesha, Vigata Gunaganaha, free from all gunas, no Sattva gun, no Rajagun, no Tamogun, means beyond the expression of Maya, beyond the expressions of Maya. Jagrat, Swapna, Sushupti, they are the expressions of Maya. So beyond the gunas is Turiya. Needed Turiya protect us, Shankaracharya says. So Turiya, see now interesting. First verse talks about Brahma, and the supreme nature of Brahma is Turiya. And the second verse talks from our standpoint how we can step by step from Jagrat, Swapna, Sushupti, from Vaishvanara, Hiranyagarbha, Ishvara, transcend this Maya and recognize our own self as Turiya. When we recognize ourselves as Turiya, we recognize ourselves as Brahma. So Aham Brahmasmi Anubhuti happens. So these are the two steps, these are the two shlokas which convey the twofold steps of realizing our own self. The first step is to know that everything is Brahma. Theoretically and logically, rationally, taking the help of the Shastras, we have to understand that everything is Brahma. Full stop. The second step is to recognize that Brahma, who is everything, as our own self. But this cannot happen immediately. So, four steps are given in the Mandukya Upanishad. So, first you understand yourself as Vaishvanara, then merge that Vaishvanara into Hiranyagarbha, understand yourself as Hiranyagarbha, merge that Hiranyagarbha in Ishvara and understand yourself as Ishvara, and transcend, merge Ishvara also in the Supreme Brahma and understand yourself as the Turiya Brahma. So this briefly, in this most fascinating two Mangal shlokas, Shankaracharya ji gives the gist of the teachings of all the Upanishads. That is the beauty of the writings of Shankaracharya. So after this Mangal shlokas, what is mentioned in the Mangal shlokas is now explained in the entire Upanishad, in all this Karika, and in Shankaracharya's Bhashya. So now we begin the main Bhashya. So before commenting on the first mantra of the Upanishad, Shankaracharya ji writes an introductory Bhashya which is also called Sambandha Bhashya. See, Bhashya means a commentary. Commentary means explaining each and every mantra, each and every word of that mantra in detail. So Shankaracharya ji not only explains each and every mantra of this Upanishad, but he also explains each and every shloka of Karika. So that is the beauty of Bhashya. Bhashya is like pravachan. Just imagine Shankaracharya ji giving pravachan on Mandukya Upanishad and Karika in Sanskrit. But his pravachan is not so superficial, it is very deep. Each and every word is important. So we have to contemplate and understand his pravachan properly. So there is this Sambandha Bhashya, which we will read and then try to understand the meaning. So Om iti etad aksharamidam sarvam tasyopavyakyanam Vedantartha Sara Sangraha Bhutam Idam Prakarana Chatushtayam Om iti etad aksharam ityadi arabhyate. Bhagwan Shankaracharya ji writes कि Om iti etad aksharam idam sarvam tasyopavyakyanam. This is how the Upanishad begins. The first mantra of the Upanishad begins like this: Om iti etad aksharam idam sarvam. That Om, this akshara, Om, this word itself is everything. Om iti etad aksharam idam sarvam. All this is Om. Tasya upavyakyanam. Now follows the detailed explanation of Om. That is how the first mantra begins. When we study that mantra, we will understand this in more detail. So Shankaracharya ji says this mantra, this Upanishad, along with the Karika of Gaudapadacharya, he calls the entire thing as a prakarana with 4 chapters. Prakarana Chatushtayam. In the first chapter, the 12 mantras of the Upanishad are there. In the second, third, and fourth chapters, only the Karika verses are there. So these 4 chapters are like 4 prakarana. So what is the topic of these 4 prakarana? Shankaracharya says कि वेदांत अर्थ सार संग्रह भूतम idam prakarana चतुष्टयम. He said these 4 chapters, these 4 prakaranas are the very essence of the teachings of Vedanta. Vedanta Artha Sara Sangraha Bhutam. Sara Sangraha. It is the essential teachings of Vedanta. What is conveyed in Vedanta, the very essence of what is conveyed in Vedanta is given in these 4 prakaranas. See, Vedanta means Upanishad. The Upanishads are called Vedanta. The Upanishads are Praman to know Brahma and to know ourselves as Brahma. Vedanta or the Upanishads are Praman. Praman means of knowledge. See, in order to gain knowledge, which we, as an individual, we gain this knowledge in our buddhi, we use our senses to gain knowledge of this world. Most of our knowledge, in fact, all of our knowledge of this world is gained through our senses, directly or indirectly. So, directly, when we gain knowledge of this world through our senses, then the senses are called a pratyaksha praman, the direct means of knowledge. So, through our senses, we gain the knowledge of Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha. The eyes gain the knowledge of colors, the ears gain the knowledge of sound. In this way, we get the knowledge through our senses. Then we further, when we investigate, we contemplate on what we have seen through our senses, we gain deeper and deeper understanding of this world. So to gain deeper understanding of this world, we use the praman like anuman, upaman, arthapatti. So pratyaksha, anuman, upaman, arthapatti are the fourfold main praman which help us to gain knowledge about this world. And this is how even science progresses, by gaining the knowledge of this world. See, with our eyes, we see the mystery of this world. But there are certain things which are difficult to see with our naked eyes. They are so tiny, so small. So, human beings, they came to discover the magnifying glass through which they can see tiny little objects also. Then they discovered a microscope through which we can further see little objects. Then we have the electron microscopes, which further tells us about the secret of this world. So, through inference, through assumptions, through studying the cause and effect, we understand the secrets of this world. Even the distant stars and all, previously we used to just see them with our eyes, naked eyes. Then they made the discovery of telescopes and they suddenly realized that Earth is not the center of this world, center of the universe, but the sun is the center, and all these planets, they move around the sun. Then further they understood that sun is also one of the stars among billions of stars in our galaxy called the Milky Way. Then further, they, with the development of telescopes and some radio telescopes and other, they could understand that even our galaxy is not one. There are billions of other galaxies in this vast cosmos. So we gain the knowledge of this world through our senses and through inference, through comparison, by studying the cause and effect. But strange, with all this scientific progress, with all the now satellites and they have telescopes up in space. Still, we have not solved the mystery of this world. Every day they discover something new and they modify their theory about this world. So, through our senses, can we understand our own self? The Upanishad says no, not possible. Because the Atma is not something which we can see with our senses. The one who is seeing is the Atma. Also, all that we see is also the expression of Atma. But the real nature of that Atma cannot be seen through the senses. Whatever the senses see are limited. Whatever we infer, that is also limited. So, through this means of knowledge, which we use to understand this world, we cannot understand Brahma. Brahma is the cause of this world. Science is trying to find a cause. They cannot. They reach some great obstacle that they can't go further. One theory is that the whole world started from a big bang. But this is just a theory. There is nothing to prove that it is right. So, through our senses, we can never know Brahma because Brahma is not an object of our senses. Brahma is not Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha. And Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha alone are known through the senses. Atma also cannot be seen through our senses. We see something different other than the Atma, other than the seer. So, what are the means of knowing Brahma and knowing myself? The only means are the Upanishads, which are called Vedanta. No other means. This may not be a politically right statement, but it is the right statement. It is the factual statement that no other means are there to recognize Brahma and to realize the self. No other religion, no other text, no other philosophies can reveal that Brahma except the Upanishads and those texts which are in tune with the Upanishads, like Bhagavad Gita, like Brahma Sutras, like our Puranas, like the Itihas. They are tuned to the Upanishads. So they also reveal the same truth. So Upanishads are many. We have seen in Muktika Upanishad, 108 Upanishads are mentioned. But the theme of all the Upanishads is same. The Upanishads reveal the nature of Brahma, taking the help of the world, means through the world, Brahma is indicated, and then through our experience, Atma is indicated, and the identity of Atma in Brahma is indicated. And we just follow the path shown by Upanishad, we will gain the direct realization of our own self as Brahma. And that is what Shankaracharya says. कि वेदांत अर्थ सार संग्रह भूतम idam prakarana chatushtayam. These four prakarana's are the Vedanta's artha, the meaning of Vedanta, means that which is conveyed in Vedanta. The essence of that is put together in these four prakaranas. Concentrated. See, sometimes we get something which is so concentrated, we have to add water or something to make it dilute. So the concentrated teaching of the Upanishads are given in Mandukya Upanishad, and it is diluted with stories, with more examples, with different ways of expression in all the other literature, like the Bhagavad Gita, the Puranas, the Itihas. So Vedanta Artha Sara Sangraha Bhutam Idam Prakarana Chatushtayam Om iti etat Aksharam Ityadi Arabhyate. And how does it begin? Om iti etat Aksharam. That is how the Upanishad begins. Om iti etat Aksharam Idam Sarvam. So it begins with the beautiful sound Om. And then it says that everything is Om. Om iti etad aksharam. Om, this akshara, this word, this letter is everything. So starting from Om, step by step, the teaching is revealed. And finally we come to understand our own self as Brahma. Now, when a text is revealed, when Upanishads are revealed, or any other text also, when a person writes something, then he has to give the essential factors of that particular text. What are the essential factors? The essential factors are called Anubandha चतुष्टय, Anubandha Chatushtaya, the fourfold important factors which have to be understood first. And what are the fourfold these factors? One is Vishaya, Prayojana, Sambandha, and Adhikara. अतएव न पृथक् संबंधादि विधेय प्रयोजनानि वक्तव्यानि यानि एव तु वेदान्ते संबंधाभिधेय प्रयोजनानि तानि एव इह भवितुम् अर्हन्ति तथापि प्रकरण व्याचिख्यासुना संक्षेपतः वक्तव्यानि. Shankaracharya ji says that the Anubandha Chatushtaya of this fourfold prakarana is same as that of the Upanishads, as that of Vedanta. So what is the fourfold Anubandha Chatushtaya of Vedanta? The Vishay is mentioned, the topic of the text, means the main theme. What is being taught is the Vishay, the subject matter. Then the Prayojan, what is the purpose? What is the purpose of this teaching? First is what is the teaching? Then what is the purpose of that teaching? What will one gain by gaining this knowledge? That is called Prayojan. Then the Sambandha, what is the connection? Means I gain knowledge. So by gaining that knowledge, how this Prayojan is attained? What is the relationship? And then, who are the adhikaris? Who are fit to follow this path shown by the Shastras? Who are fit to gain this knowledge? Everyone cannot gain this knowledge. There should be there are some qualifications required. So who are those who are fit to gain this knowledge? What are the qualifications required? These are the fourfold Anubandha Chatushtaya, which are there in when we study Vedanta, and the same fourfold Anubandha Chatushtaya is there while studying this four prakarana, the Upanishad as well as the Karika. If you want to study, then this fourfold is same for this also. Therefore, Shankaracharya says that there is no need to mention it separately. But as a one who is giving pravachan, as a one who is writing a bhashya, that it is a responsibility of that person to mention this fourfold factors again briefly. Therefore, I am mentioning it briefly. Tathapi prakarana vyachikyasuna sankshepatah vaktavyani. One who does the vyakhyan of this prakarana should mention what are the four factors, because from that we come to know what is the topic presented in this text, what is the purpose of this topic or gaining this knowledge? And what is the connection between the topic and the purpose? How this knowledge serves the purpose? What is the sambandha? And who are the adhikari? So Bhagavan Shankaracharya says, I will tell you briefly. Though it is same as in Vedanta, but since I am doing this, I am writing this bhashya, I will briefly tell this, what are the fourfold factors. Because tatra prayojanavat sadhanabhi vyanjakatvena abhidheya sambandham shastram paramparyena vishishta sambandhabhidheya prayojanavat bhavati. Because depending on the prayojan, depending on the purpose, every text will have a different set of anubandha chatushtaya. Like suppose you go to some bookshop and just pick up one book, then that book will convey what is the main topic of that book. Hmm. How to become rich. There are books, different types of books are available in the market. Think and grow rich. You can just think and use your thinking to gain wealth. So if that is the topic, and what is the prayojan? When we gain that knowledge from the book, then we will get all these ideas, and if we work towards that idea, then we will become rich. So becoming rich is the prayojan. The topic is how to become rich. And that is the sambandha, that if you gain this knowledge and put forth whatever is suggested in that book, then you will become rich. And who are the adhikari? Who wants to become rich? Who are interested to gain a lot of wealth? So they buy the book and they study the book. Similarly, if we want to study this Mandukya Upanishad with Karika, what is the topic? What is the prayojan? What is the sambandha? And who are the adhikari? Shankaracharya says, I will tell you briefly. He says, Kim punaha tat prayojanam iti uchyate. What is the prayojan? First he tells the prayojan. What is the purpose of this text? He says, Rogartasyeva roga nivruttao swastata तथा दुःखात्मकस्य आत्मनो द्वैत प्रपंच उपशमे स्वस्थता अद्वैत भाव प्रयोजनम. He says Advaita Bhav is the prayojan. What is Advaita Bhav? The understanding that there is Advaita, non-duality, that everything is one. That I am there. Now what is my understanding? I am there in this body. This world is there. And so many other beings are there. So we experience multiplicity and we experience duality. I am different, world is different, other beings are different, Ishvara is different, other gods are different. So, this experience and notion of differences is called Dvaita. And all our sorrows and problems are there because of this Dvaita, notion of Dvaita, which is false. So, in order to gain the knowledge and experience of Advaita, is the Prayojanam. That itself will give us moksha from all bondage, from all sorrow, from all sufferings. So Bhagavan gives some example also, and then he also mentions the other factors of this sadhana, anubandha chatushtaya, which we shall see in our class on Wednesday. Till then, you take care, be happy, safe, peaceful, healthy, do your work, do your sadhana, and listen to the pravachan again and again till you go into the flow of that Upanishad. One should flow into the Upanishad. Okay? So see you again soon. Hari Om. Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram. 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 Jaya Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram. बोले सिया रामचंद्र भगवान की जय. ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते. ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः. हरिः ॐ.